Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm actually doing block A, and it's going to be a 2-block quilt. So I will cover the block B and the finishing of the quilt in the second video, which will be coming out a week after this one. So to begin with block A, it's going to measure 16.5 inches unfinished. I will be making 5 of these to make a 48-inch square quilt. If you want to make a 48 by 64, then you need to make one more, so you, in essence, 6 blocks. So to begin with, I'm going to be using the quantity per block just to keep it simple, and I will have the full breakdown in the video description if you'd like to look there, and it'll tell you all the fabric requirements. So to begin with, what we need to do is have some 4.5-inch square HSTs. You know, I like to work with a high contrast and a low contrast just to make them pop a little bit more. So per block, we need to have 8 of these. We need to stitch them together in pairs so that the arrow of the light background is facing together. So not like this, but we want them like this. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what comes next. So I now have my HSTs sewn together. You could always make these out of flying geese as well, which would measure 4.5 inches deep by 8.5 inches wide. So per block, again, we need 4 paired ups or 4 flying geese. So that's what I've come up with. So putting those aside for now, we're going to do the center of the block and work our way out. So with this, I have 2 darker potato chips, which are my 2.5 by 4.5 inches wide, and I've joined them together with a 1/4 inch seam, and that'll act as the center. And then surrounding that, I have some low volume or lighter contrast fabric to frame around them, and there's 6 of them. So what I'll do is I'll stitch them together or join them together with a 1/4 inch seam. So 2 end to end on the top, 2 end to end for the bottom, and then 1 on each side of the center darker ones that I just showed you. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what comes next. Okay, so this is what the center of the block looks like, and it should measure 8.5 unfinished. So for now, I'm just going to put that aside because we have one more component we need to make before we can put this all together. So next up, we need to make some 4 patches, and these are made from 2.5-inch squares. You'll want to have 2 higher contrast ones and 2 lower contrast ones put together like this. And through the magic of video, I can show you the ones that I've already gone ahead and prepared. So I'll put those aside. This is what you're going to be making. And you do want to have some scrappiness. So if you'll notice that they're not all the same. So you will need 4 of these sets to start assembling the block. So now taking 2 of the 4 patches, and these should measure 4.5 inches square, by the way. We're going to take 2 of them with the dark pointing towards the center, and then we're going to take one of our HST or flying geese units, and we're going to stitch it together on both ends. We're also going to make another one that is identical to this. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll show you our next step. With these units complete, we'll just temporarily put those to the side. And then we're going to go back to our center, and then we're going to take the last 2 units of flying geese or HSTs and join them on the ends like this. Take care when you have one point here you may want to pay attention to, and what I'll do is when I join it together, I'll pin it very carefully, and I'll make sure that I'm careful of this point here and here. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you our final assembly. With the center units now pieced together, we're ready to add the last 2 components of this block. So we're going to take one of the ones with the 4 patches and the HSTs and put it along the top, and then just let me slide this up, and then we'll take the other one and we'll add it to the bottom. And if you've got your seams pressed the right way, these should nest together quite nicely. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it finally looks like. Okay, so I have all the units joined together, so I'll just scan it this way. So there's our top row, and then this is our center, and this is the bottom row, which is a duplicate to the top row. So I will go ahead and make 5 of these for the size that I'm making. You can make 6, 7, or 8, depending on how big you want it to be. You could actually just make 2 and have a smaller quilt. So until next week, when I reveal the second block in the series and how this all goes together as a quilt, take care, sew safely, and have a great day. Bye for now.